or Python, Power BI, Tableau, Spark, Hadoop, you might feeling a bit lost among all these tools. Industry is willing you to master for entering as a junior data analyst role, and you cannot master them all, so you have to make a choice. That is why in this video I will provide you the 5 tools I use on an everyday basis for processing and performing my project. For those who don't know me, I'm Guillaume. I'm a data analyst across fashion and sport and retail services. So you have to have one tool for every data operation you will be performing. That is to say what I call the ETL process. So extract, transform, load. The first truth I want to tell you about the market is there are plenty of tools that you will have to master. But the thing is, you only have to master the languages and the structured languages that are used among these tools. That is to say, in priority, SQL and Python. Otherwise, the other things are useless. First, let's focus on the languages and then after the tools. So they might have something which a bit differs from what you were using before, but actually is the same because all these kind of tools are using the same languages. The second truth about the industry is the modern data stack is looking like very enormous, but actually a few enterprises are using very different kinds of tools, and the trend of adoption of the people inside the company is not as far as you will master this tool. So it's very limited in terms of adoption, and the adoption in companies is very slow. So the more you keep it simple in your projects, the better it will be for you to master and make a system around this tool for creating your project. The first one is not a data tool, but is a tool that allows you to center your knowledge and have multiple options to gather information for your projects. And the tool I use is Notion. It's great. It's where I store all my findings for my YouTube channel, all my projects, and I have all my templates for every project I want to do. It's an all-in-one system to centralize your insights and over your data analyst path. So you can use different elements and content, and this is where I am going to explore all the features I have in Notion for being more systematic about my approach in my data analysis. When you have a pretty good idea of what your project will be, you have to format what the project will be in terms of information and knowledge. So you have to modelize these data as soon as before even the extraction. So you have an idea how the architecture will be designed and how data flows in between your different parts. So you have to know where, from which source you will extract this data. Is it coming from an API? Is it coming from a CSV? In this case, you can directly upload it in a storage database that allow you to manipulate this data. Otherwise, in the other case, from an API, you have to extract it and visualize as a table as you want it to be at the end in your manipulating tool. In case of API extraction, the tool I use is called Postman. And Postman allows you to know how the JSON response of HTTP request in an API is structured, and you can even visualize it. You will see it's structured as a table there, and you can see right away how your data will be ingested in your file and how you can create each header inside your table. So it gives you a broad idea of how it's structured data. Here's an example of a JSON response I called from an API, and I can trigger it without a key. So if the API is requesting me O2 authentication, that is to say I have to request an API key for calling this API, or I can call this API as an open data. If it allows me not having a key, I can just make a call and having a response. It's depending on the case you have. There are plenty of API, open data API that you can use without restriction. Now you have all these data coming and flowing. You have to schedule something on an automatic basis that it can enrich your data inside and your tables on a schedule. That is to say, you have to learn how to use an ETL, and ETL might be the trickiest part of your project if you are kind of new to this field, because it relies to data engineering, and data engineering, if you're a newcomer, might require some SQL and Python basics in order to ingest the data, gather it, transform it, and then load this into your storage space. By the way, if you want me to do Mage AI demo, the free open source ETL I use for all my projects with an API, tell me in the comments and I will make a video about it. If you want more content on the tool I use on a daily basis and for my projects as well, hit the comments, smash the like button, and see you in the next video. Bye.